Days, the public has a chance to weigh in on proposals to replace a bridge linking Iowa and Nebraska. Now, back in February, we told you about the Decatur Bridge, and based on the condition it's in, it's repair or replacement. The bridge connects Monona County, Iowa and Burt County, Nebraska. It's been closed several times the past several decades, and transportation officials say the longer the bridge exists, the weight allowed on it will drop. Now, open house meetings were proposed in June to go over the proposed project, but were postponed due to flooding. The first was held today in Ottawa to provide the public with information about the future of this bridge and allow the public to respond. KTIV's RJ Breen has more.
The bridge connecting Ottawa, Iowa and Decatur, Nebraska is in the process of being replaced. The first phases of the project are underway, and Department of Transportations in both Iowa and Nebraska want public input on the plans.
Or what's important to them for that river crossing, whether it's going between the two communities for work, school, shopping, medical.
Wednesday, the DOT showed the public 9 different proposals to replace the current bridge. Now behind me is the structure in question, the connection between Decatur, Nebraska and Ottawa, Iowa. With many citizens raising concerns if they were to move it to a different area, it may cause disruptions.
They realize we need to do something. We need to improve a river crossing here between the two communities. And a lot of the concern is about out of distance travel if that was to be closed.
Another concern is funding, but Felix says DOTs in Nebraska and Iowa are looking at the funding they have for the project. Once a plan is settled on and all other phases are complete, work is slated to begin in 2029. Construction is still years away, but the DOT wants to reassure drivers the current crossing is in good shape.
Now, any structure needs regular maintenance, and we'll continue doing that. Right now, the bridge is structurally sound, and there is no issues, concerns right now.
In Ottawa, Iowa, RJ Breen, KTIV News 4.
The next meeting will be held tomorrow at Decatur City Hall from 5 p.m. until 7 p.m. The public is asked to share their feedback by September 16th.